What's up, everybody? Welcome to the APTA's Grand Prix Series. We are live at the Detroit Invitational, sponsored by the APTA national sponsors Viking, Fusion, Upswing Health, and My Paddle. We are live at the Orchid Lake Country Club in Michigan on the APTA network, presented by eNet. I am Mark Innes alongside with Brad Easterbrook, and we are going to be bringing you the men's semi-final between the number 3 seeds, Filip Rams and Mike Wagner, who are taking on the number 1 seeds, Tyler Fraser and Adam Morgan. Brad, how are you today?
I'm great, Mark. It's great to be here with you. So why don't we take a quick look at our players on the court. Actually, we look forward to a terrific match. So on the top left of your screen, as we just move views there, we got Tyler Fraser in all black in the black cap, and his partner in the white cap on the top right of your screen is Adam Morgan. All right, both is the director of Racket Sports Pros, Adam Morgan in Chicago, and Tyler Fraser from Cincinnati area. And on the bottom right of your screen is Filip Rams and his partner Mike Wagner. Now, we got an interesting thing with this match. You know, Rams just played against Morgan and Fraser with Scott Kaler in Midwesterns, and they were able to beat him in 3 sets. So we'll see how this one goes, but why don't we take a quick look at the draw and see how our players got there.
Let's see it.
All right, so there you see, you know, a pretty good road there from Rams and Wagner, defeating Hirsch and McGrath. You've got a lot of switching partners in this tournament, so 6-1, 6-love, so you got to figure fitness is pretty good for them. And Fraser and Morgan basically the same thing with a 6-2, 6-love win in the quarterfinals. So both teams should be relatively fresh for this one.
Absolutely, looks like some routine wins and some smooth sailing there, Brad. So we're in for a fun matchup. I'm sure Rams and Wagner are pretty familiar with each other's games. They live in the same area. Is that correct?
Yes, they do. They're both from the Pittsburgh area, and Mike Wagner is not a guy you see on the live stream all the time. He's been on a couple of times now. He frequently partners with Dan Hirsch, and he's very quick. He's got a great backhand. He's got a pretty good forehand, too. He's very fast. He can blitz as well as a lot of guys. He's a really solid player. You know, he doesn't have the finishing shots, like the cut finishing overhead that a lot of guys do. His serve tends to be a little spotty or even kind of weak, but he gets in very quickly behind it. He's a really good, solid player. It's going to be exciting to see him on the live stream. And one of the interesting side notes, as I was mentioning before, Mark, is, you know, Filip Rams just defeated Morgan and Fraser in a big battle in the Midwesterns, and he should have, you know, they had a book on how to play them. They were dumping the ball anytime. Their safe spot was soft, slow, and deep to the Fraser forehand. And we'll see if that'll be a strategy that Wagner and Rams use.
No, absolutely. I heard Filip talk about their strategy and just their whole tournament on Inside the Wires. And they, as you said, they had the playbook. So it'll be great to see how they figured this out with a new partner. And I just love to see players playing with different people. It always makes for interesting matchups. It improves their skills on a whole number of levels, having to play with different people. So I'm excited to see what we get on this Saturday night, Brad.
All right, so it looks like Tyler Fraser is about to start us off here. So we're underway, and he was, I guess, just taking one practice serve there.
FBI first ball in.
A little FBI.
You know, why not?
That's how it is. And that first return. All right, so Filip Rams to return, and this is Tyler Fraser serving in our men's semifinal action.
Here we go.
All right, so just a quick note on the players here. Rams has a great forehand, very slippery, very good. You know, you can hit it from a lot of places, places it well. It's not easy to read. Wagner can hit the ball with both sides, forehand and backhand. Bad blitz there from Rams. you want to wait for your opponent to be hitting the ball down most of the time before you're going to blitz. If you hit it up to the guy, that's what happens. Volley's behind, so great volley there.
But yes, as you said, Filip Rams just has such pretty strokes, and it's hard to read.
So smooth. Adam Morgan, offense on both sides, forehand and backhand.
But he really thumps the ball, Brad.
He just crushes it, though. He doesn't do a lot of the off-pace drives or no deception, really. He's not like one of those guys who's holding the ball. He's just coming after you, picking his spot, and it's just a really good drive on both sides. And he's one of the most intense competitors on the tour.
Yes, which I'm excited for. I love to see it out there.
And then you got Tyler Fraser, who is just uber talented, can do cut shots, finishing shots. He's got a great backhand. It's all just been a question of choices and putting it together. He's a great blitzer as well.
We're definitely in for an interesting match. So we just got word, Brad, there that the temperature out there right now is 17 degrees Fahrenheit.
17 chilly degrees. Although the last competitors out there, were in shorts. 2 of them were in shorts. So we'll see how these guys warm up to the temp.
Yeah, once you get moving, it's nothing that should affect people too much besides game styles. The colder weather definitely favors players that hit the ball heavy from the baseline, like we mentioned. Adam Morgan has such a strong stroke and heavy drive. So that's definitely when the ball's cold, but they're going to be warm. It shouldn't affect them too much. First aim there to Fraser and Morgan. Filip Rams up to serve.
You were mentioning it before, Mark. He has some of the prettiest strokes for Filip Rams. He's got a beautiful looking forehand. Now, right away, it's interesting. Tyler Fraser letting him know he's not going to let him dump it to the forehand. He hits 2 right off the bat. And I noticed in the warm-up, he was not shy about going after his forehand in the warm-up, too. So he's driven 6 of the first 8 balls.
And Tyler Fraser is just so unpredictable. I actually saw his article in the APTA magazine about exactly that, being unpredictable, and really no few players are as unpredictable as him. He blitzes, he drives, he does different spins, different speeds. He's really something special.
He is indeed, but unpredictability goes 2 ways, right? The key is when you do more, there's more possibility of things breaking down, right? So he's just got to become more disciplined in the things he does, and it's just coming down to choices because he's absolutely, been one of the top talents in the game for years now.
And would you say that's just the progression of a player in general? Like, as the player with all their skills has to learn how to put the puzzle together?
Absolutely. I mean, it's 100% the progression of a player. It's also the mindset of a certain player. His mindset is of creativity, right? And how can I enforce my athleticism on the game? Some guys' mindset is just take a Drew Broderick, for instance, or somebody else, who their mindset just may be different, right? So it's a combination of both.
Neither of the teams have been pushed too far today. Everyone went through in straight sets, so it should be, as you said, fitness isn't an issue, so they can leave it all out on the court here. And finals is going to be tomorrow at 9 a.m., so they really, I'm expecting a battle here. This is a great angle. You can just see how balanced Fraser is. He's just always ready, and that's what allows him to blitz as much as he does. He's never falling back. He's balanced, always moving forward. It's great to see.
It is great to see, and what I was about to say is that he is. Oh, what a get by all the players!
Great
That's
hand,
like a
Wagner.
You know, Wagner's a very good player. He's just not seen as much because he's from the Pittsburgh area. You know, he's been around the scene for a while now. You know, he's a seasoned player. But Fraser's very, you know, he's going to position himself very aggressively in the court. I've seen him to begin with right away, just being right up on the baseline. And that, of course, steals time from your opponents, allows you to create more, but it also leaves you a little vulnerable to shots going behind you and defensively.
And they hold, and we're at 1-1.
Love. I'll be here. You. Yep.
Great lob.
Actually, 3 or 4 really good lobs, and I love that play. Beautifully done by Rams. He's seeing the court.
He's so smooth.
Yeah, but he's just seeing the plays so much better. Like, every one of those plays is exactly right. He's looking to attack at the right time there. He let the ball go through. He doesn't have the advantage on the blitz. He's actually just lob volleying and retreating. Oh, that is just a beautiful point. And Fraser speeds up the lob. Sometimes, you know, like an old school shot, just push that ball higher, deeper, give yourself time to get back in position. Too hard and overhead, they can't get back before the ball gets crushed. Oh, and a lot of high energy stuff so far.
I'll be here.
Misses the cut finisher. He absolutely has that shot.
Oh, and he slows it down. Great move.
Yeah, but the way Wagner and Rams are really using their speed is tremendous. I've seen Rams blitz on every single point in this game, actually. And whether it doesn't mean he's always hitting an offensive shot like there, he's just hitting a lob volley, but he's moving himself forward so that if they sky the ball, he's right there.
And that's the beauty of playing with different partners, right, Brad? You know, when he plays with his traditional partner, Scott Kaler, generally Kaler is the one that's doing more of the blitzing off of Rams's shots and drives. Now he gets to be a little more elusive and do some of it, which is great to see.
Yeah, well, everybody comes with their strengths and weaknesses, right? And Wagner can hit the ball off both sides. He's easily, you can blitz on his balls. That's a break point here in the early going for Wagner and Rams. Great stuff, exciting stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, but look where Morgan is. He's behind the service line. If you're there, you got to know you're volleying the ball. Otherwise, you go back and you get it off the back screen. But he decided to position himself back, which to me, Mark, made me think he was going to bail and let the ball go off the back screen.
Correct. You know, that's the quicker you can make that decision in that split second to let the ball go off the back screen, you're definitely going to be in a good position, because as hard as Wagner hit it, it's just going to bounce right back to you, and you probably can keep the net. So anytime you can avoid having to make that tough volley, it's always a good thing.
So Wagner and Rams draw first blood. We got Wagner to serve. Pace is a little, they're going to have to slow down some of those deep overheads. Rams and Wagner are really coming after him. See, there's what I was talking about before, the Wagner serve. He just puts it in the box. You know, sometimes he'll go in, sometimes he'll stay back. And they got him off the net 4 or 5 times already, and they're sticking low drives. Just excellent play so far for Rams and Wagner.
Yeah, and Wagner's just driving so consistently.
No, he's a very good player. You know, a little underrated. The serve is definitely not something, you know, this is how he plays. He's not even bother coming in behind it.
Yeah, so they're basically having to play from the baseline most of his service games.
But you can see how much offense they have from the back end. He can hit the ball off both sides. And he's got a relatively quick release. He's very quick in for the blitz.
30 love.
Wow.
This seems like to be Fraser and Morgan's general MO, though. When even in Cincinnati, right, there was always a matter of feeling out the other team. They would lose a couple games quickly, but then they seem to figure it out. So I wouldn't be too worried if I was them. They generally seem to follow this pattern.
Oh, not at all. I mean, Rams, you're 100% right, Mark. I mean, Rams and Wagner, that's the first miss I think I've seen from Rams and Wagner. You know, they've been just playing just
Lights
beautiful
out.
ball. So not only, so this is a play. It's not just the serve itself, you know, from the Wagner. If you watch, it's just, he's putting in and Rams is allowed to roam free. Rams is giving him a sign to Wagner, telling him where, if he's moving or not moving or where to serve. And his pressure of movement at the net is creating, they're having to guess, and Rams is cutting it off. If he's able to, Wagner will come in later. If he's not able to, stays back. If Wagner gets the drive, he takes it and comes in. If not, he lobs it and Rams goes back. So they have a specific style, and that worked great in that game there.
Absolutely, it's some great problem solving. Tyler Fraser up to serve.
He let it go and hit it. It's tricky though.
He
Well, it's
didn't
one of
wanna
those
hit
things.
that.
No, he didn't. You know, one of the things that you want to do is just keep that paddle down and set in front of you. And when it gets up like that, yeah, you don't get tempted to reach for it, which he did.
Absolutely, the more you can just cover what's right at you, you're going to be in good shape.
See, now these are the overheads that I think they're going to have to start changing. Right now, you would say that playing fast would be a good thing for Fraser, but they're playing so fast, they're not allowing themselves time to get back in position at the net. You know, so they're going to have to put a little error on some of these overheads and slow it down so they can get back in position. And then when they get the right ball to go for the attack, start working it. Unless this is just the strategy and they think the faster it is, you know, right now they're losing, but it's going to be beneficial for them in the end. Oh.
I think what a lot of it can be is, and I've
all.
spoken to Johan Durant about this, is, you know, especially like a Fraser who's probably playing a lot of league matches and things like that, where you can have success with these kind of overheads. And when you meet other top players, it's not quite the same, but you're not used to it, you know. So it's something you have to change when you meet other top players.
Well, there's certainly no question about that. The way you approach a match, when you have to dictate it or dominate it with your shots, and speeding up play just gives you a chance to get more balls. Here, it's very much a team game, right? So speeding up play can absolutely work, but it's got to be a team decision.
30 all.
Big point, yeah.
That's long.
30 40.
Love to see Fraser and Morgan just taking their time there, discussing some things, slowing it down. Oh,
Oh, it's just the hands and the strikes from the backcourt. It's beautiful stuff.
Wagner is just looking so comfortable out there.
Like I said, he's just not that well known. You know, he's a very good player. I've played against him, and he's been around for a long time. It's not like, you know, he's an up-and-comer. He's been in the game for a while. He just hasn't quite broken through, and being in the Pittsburgh area, you know, he hasn't made the full commitment to going all over the place to play. Wow, that's a nice little off-pace backhand there from Fraser.
And there's that uncertainty that Tyler Fraser creates. That's, you know, not a predictable shot that you could see. Rams is already stepping back, anticipating the lob, and he just catches him with that low short ball. Rams looks to the
Advantage, Fraser.
scorekeeper.
Dave Woodruff, our scorekeeper today. See, this is the unique thing about this team of Rams and Wagner. The Rams' backhand is the safest spot on the court, but Wagner's fast, and he'll set up and move over and take that ball. Now, that ball's lower than the net. I'm not sure it was the best drive, but there so many good balls, they might have been feeling it too much there.
No, absolutely. It seems like there's so much offense on the Rams-Wagner side of the court right now. They're moving well. They're playing positively. So that was a good hold for Fraser and Morgan at that time.
It was, and they faced a break point there too, and that was big to come back and hold that.
Shout out to Dave Woodruff out there, scorekeeper, and all the volunteers out in Orchid Lake Country Club. I was speaking to Jerry Viant, and she was just saying how incredible the buzz in Detroit is at the moment about paddle and how it's growing. It's exciting to see.
It's Filip Rams to serve, and I think he thought that Wagner was getting that one. It's a great spot there from Morgan. Yeah, so they're looking for that safe spot still to the Fraser forehand, but if you're going to do it, you got to take it and put a little air on it. And then if you see him get ready to move, sneak it in behind him.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful combination of balls. He lobs down the line. He gets Fraser moving to his right, sets up his forehand, that he goes inside out. It's just a perfect combination. Well seen. It's just he's seeing the court so well.
Very fast match. I like it.
But it's fast, but it's still tactical
Yes.
and thoughtful in its own way. You know, Rams is blitzing forward anytime Wagner goes, but if he gets a low ball, he just cuts it off. Now, they've been able to catch Morgan and Fraser off the net a few times, so Morgan and Fraser are going to have to address that. That's a great view of Adam Morgan digging out corner screens.
Filip Rams just waterfalling it in there. Oh, he took the risk stepping up.
15-30.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's a good ball to bail on. He's picking his spots, and he finally gets a really easy ball. Just go back. He'll easily get that off the back screen.
Especially knowing that, you know, you don't have to play a final tonight. You can really not take too many risks. You can leave it all out there physically tonight. Smart play by Tyler Fraser to step back.
All. Right. 30 all. Yeah. 30 all. Come on.
He's on his heels on that one.
40-30.
He's committed to not letting them dump it to the forehand, which is good, but that was a tough ball. Overplays that volley. He read it well.
Tyler Fraser probing with the little poke drive. Solid return there by Adam Morgan.
He's spotting it really well off of Wagner's hip, forcing Wagner to either hit a flip volley with a forehand or getting Ram to reach just a little bit. See if we get his body behind that one. It's great spots though for Morgan.
You can see Tyler Fraser's positioning on that baseline there. Just putting so much.
Just standing right on the baseline.
Oh, I love that.
It's perfectly done. Attack, attack, fast, fast, fast. Close it. It looks like he's going attack again, and he just softens his hands, sort of releases the racket head of contact.
It seems that drop shot is becoming a lot more prevalent, even when it's, you know, out of nowhere, just making players come forward. I saw, you know, Juan Araya did it a ton in his last two tournaments at Long Island and Western New England, just bringing the player forward.
Well, it's more than bringing the player forward when they can't anticipate that they have to go forward. Oh, and there's just a couple of loose errors in that game.
And games are 3-all first set.
So that's a good job there, closing it back up, tying it all up. So it's 3-all here in the first set. Those top players have that ability to go at the ball, hold it, and like at the last second take the pace off or stiffen their hand and volley it behind people. And for those guys and for anyone, that's how you do it. I mean, the drop shot is so useful.
Absolutely, create that indecision.
We saw in our other quarterfinal, Crick and Lofgren, you know, it made a huge difference for Lofgren when he started hitting drop volleys. Oh, it's cut off balls. You notice every single lob right here has been over Morgan's head. Oh, that's just beautiful. Tough turnaround drive there. Probably better to lob it, but this level, the guys make split-second decisions. See, each one of those lobs pinpoint over Morgan, and they're getting Fraser to go back behind Morgan, creating some space. Allows them to get the drive. Scores 3-all. Low 15.
There's been some very consistent serving from all the players. They've been getting into most of the points pretty comfortably and consistently.
All.
This is great action here, Mark. Oh, those Rams on display.
Oh, there's that hold you were talking about. He
Right.
looked like he was going to drop shot it, and then as he sees Adam Morgan coming forward, Filip Rams just pushes it back past him to the corner. That's what can really make the difference between, you know, great players, is the skies of their shots.
No, 100%, Mark. that's part of, you were mentioning before, you know, unpredictability. That's part of being unpredictable, is from a similar setup or a similar type of motion. That, again, looked like a low ball to drive. You can do various shots. So a guy has to hold, you have to see, all of a sudden he's dropping it, all of a sudden he's pushing it deep, all of a sudden he's cutting underneath it. Oh, that's beautifully done by Morgan. Spotted 2 perfect drives there.
And they get to take the net.
Oh! You work so hard with these 2 perfect shots and you get
40.
a routine overhead, but that's how it goes.
Uncharacteristic miss. Tyler Fraser coming back to have a word with them. Good communication.
Oh, that is a great cut. So athletic out there. Wagner and Rams very fast. Wagner's very fast also. Both teams are actually pretty fast.
The switch at the back court. Tyler Fraser back in his ad side.
Good pace from Rams. You notice Rams doing 90% of the overhead work. He's got a little bit of that action, you know, good cuts, finished, a little more variety. Wagner's a little more vanilla on his overheads, but does a great job of closing off. They're going to use these strengths and try to maximize it to the best of their abilities.
Absolutely. And Filip Ram's overhead, you can't always see it on camera, but it slides off the paddle a little bit different to, you know, just a regular cut overhead. You know, on the camera it sometimes looks like it's just bouncing short and you can't see why it's so effective, but...
Well, that's just gorgeous.
What a shot.
See, but again, he's got the paddle up. It looks like he's going to do an undercutter, and then at the last moment he drops his paddle underneath it. You know, that's just perfectly done, and a great display of racket skill.
And I like the little jump just for a little bit of flair in there.
You gotta have the flair.
Gotta have the flair.
Gotta have the flair.
Filip Rams. Polish sensation.
I think he's the #1 Polish player in the world.
Do you know of any other Polish players?
Well, no, but that doesn't really matter.
No, he's definitely #1. There was, even if I knew of one, he was going to be #1.
Now, in your case, being a South African player.
Oh, the list is too heavy over there. I think I might change nationalities. I'm looking for.
We'll just say you're in the top 100. You're top 100.
That's it. My dad's Zimbabwean, so I'm trying to see if I can get ahead of Admire Shop Genius Chizikwe.
Perfect. All right, so just beautiful play from Filip Rams. And Wagner, too, as, you know, doing damage, allowing Rams to blitz. That's a terrific drive from Morgan.
This is the game that Rams and Wagner will want to get out of.
Good read, but overhit, and that's kind of what the strategy does. You know, when you got Rams moving like that, you're afraid to hit an off-pace drive, but if you hammer it, Wagner's just back there, he's going to drive it right back. You're not going to be able to take the net.
And it's beautiful to see. You're just using, you know, what you have and figuring out a way to still hopefully get the net, but if you don't get it, not the end of the world.
You know, it's an interesting thing, you know, going back to that last point that we saw there, I like... The better move I like when Wagner's serving to the deuce is for Rams to go right somewhat and look for the pokes there, because that'll make Morgan hit the ball hard down the line. And the hard down the line shot is the one, I got a little overzealous there, is the one that'll come off easy and clean for Wagner to drive back.
Yes, off that back screen. And
right,
I actually
it's going to come off straight.
I love how Tyler Fraser sets up when he's actually poaching from the deuce court. He angles his body, we'll point it out later, in a pretty unique way to hopefully still get a backhand volley, which is because the deuce court is there for a right-hand player to poach from.
Rams almost exclusively looking for that lob over Morgan's head. Look at, there's another one.
Oh!
That's a nice nice dig.
That is a tough
great
roller.
1540.
Adam Morgan.
He's back behind it. He uses his whole upper body, just throws himself right up and over, creates a great angle and roll.
Yeah, there's that one you were talking about. It just doesn't bounce off the screen as much.
3040.
Good sharp backhand there from Rams. That's just great.
Filip Rams going to work.
Yeah, but what's terrific about it is they know what they're doing, right?
Yes.
You know, they have an idea. Rams is giving him a signal. Rams is telling him where he's moving. I mean, all Wagner's doing is putting the serve in the box, that he knows about what's going to come up and what he should be expected to do as well. Wow, what a lob right in the out. Nope. Called wide.
Deuce.
To me, it looked wide, but our viewpoint is nearly good enough. All right, so deuce.
The call stands.
Well, there is no umpire. All right. It's just a scorekeeper out there. So the players are on their honor making their own calls.
I'm sure
umpired
David Woodruff
match.
is happy about that.
Right, in an umpired match, question the umpire, he makes a ruling on it. If the ball is deemed that it was in, then it's just a loss of point.
Filip Rams back in the ad line he traditionally plays when he's playing with Scott Kaler. So clearly no rush to switch back.
No, Wagner's got it on both sides. You know, he can hit the forehand and the backhand. I think his backhand might be a little better, but his forehand's good.
See how he closes the net.
Yes, but that's what they're doing, you know. And that's his skill. He's so quick to the net. He doesn't have any real spin on any of his overheads. Oh, bodies him up nicely there. It's right in his frame.
And you can really play pretty physical when you don't have to play the final tonight. You can close the net a lot, leave it all out there. Fitness shouldn't really be an issue.
No, for these guys it isn't at all. I mean, Rams and Wagner won 6-1-6 love in their quarterfinal, and Morgan and Fraser was 6-2-6 love. So both of them just dominated their quarters.
Filip Rams is showcasing his overheads right now.
And what a difference between the last match that we live streamed and this one. It just gives you like the idea that there's so many ways to
Got out of jail there.
That was unbelievable. What's a little surprising about that is there's no way Morgan can lob that ball high, right? So they should each be like a 1 inch from the net, right? You know, but what a great shot that was.
Game,
A little luck was on their side.
4-all, first set.
I tell you, that was some incredible get, and it leads to the break. And, you know, Wagner and Rams had a good strategy there. They had opportunities. It was a great job just by Fraser and Morgan. They're just gritting it out, and this is great athletic stuff.
Yep, Fraser and Morgan are digging deep there. You know, it does feel like Rams and Wagner somewhat have the edge when things get down to it, but Fraser and Morgan are still winning games, which is a good place to be.
Well, they're
That's almost a better place to be when, even if you don't have the momentum, you're still winning.
Correct. I think you're absolutely right. It's almost a better place to be because right now, you know, eventually there might be a little chink in the armor. You know, Wagner and Rams will miss a shot. Right now they're just playing some great paddle. Yet the other guys, it's still 4-all. Here's the stuff, like Morgan's going to have to give himself enough time to get back in. He's gotten burned off the net 4 or 5 times already today. And that is their strategy, to lob Morgan off the net and then catch him when he gets that ball a little short or doesn't put enough air on it.
Our other semi-final between Crick Lofgren, Lewis Lofgren is going on right now as well. So there's going to be some good action on the other court. What's that?
We got Crick Lofgren, Lewis Lofgren.
That's
So
right.
He's going to play both sides.
That's right. A lot of action out there. Lofgren. Either way, Lofgren's going to be a winner.
Yeah, so there's Randy Lofgren and Will Lofgren. Will, I believe, is the director over at Four Bridges Country Club. A great forehand in his own right.
15 love.
Yeah, so
smooth.
yeah, but so far Rams has been on those drops, and any time they have let Rams move forward, he has absolutely had the advantage. You know, at this point, unless you're going to make those drops really well, like, you know, really start to execute, you got to keep Rams back. As soon as he starts moving forward, he's got the advantage.
Correct. A lot of times I would try to tell players now to, you have him coming forward, so set up like you're going to do the dropper or the cut, and then send it back deep at him. Because you've created him that sort of movement that he's going to come forward, and now can you catch him out with that? Because he does have the edge every time you're bringing him forward.
That's just a great volley from Morgan. Good position. Wagner picks his spot. Morgan's right there. Rams takes a risk-reward thing. He knows to lob volley it, but still a tough shot to execute. Great play.
Took the risk going in. Didn't go his way that time.
Great spot.
30 all.
You look at Fraser, he's like, huh? It's just,
Where did that hit?
right, exactly.
What was that?
I thought I was hitting that perfectly up the middle.
Mike Wagner is looking dialed in.
Oh, big cut there from Rams.
40-30.
It's an interesting set, so it's a point for Fraser Morgan to go 5-1. It's sort of like we were talking about. It feels like Rams and Wagner have had a little bit of the better of it, but, you know, not on the scoreboard. And they've just taken a few more risks and made a couple more errors. Really, than Morgan and Fraser. I mean, they did a bunch of highlight reel shots, but in the end, it's all about the scoreboard, right?
That is correct, Brad.
Oh, that's beautifully done by Morgan. That's too good. He set him up. And that's one of those things where if you don't have the perfect overhead, that spin overhead set up, just hit a regular push overhead deep.
Yeah, and what I love about Adam Morgan, what he's doing there is just he's throwing those jabs, right? It's not a knockout punch. He's hitting the lob to a great position, setting up his forehand, making them hit a volley. They make a couple, but somewhere along the line they're going to miss. That's exactly what the offense from the baseline should be. Just throw jabs until someone's going to miss. Filip Rams to serve. Serve to stay in the set. Great closing there.
5 love.
Mike Wagner.
Yeah, I know. He's all over that. He closes in very quickly.
Is that just standard Pittsburgh procedure? Scott Kaler, Mike Wagner, just what they
standard
do?
Pittsburgh procedure.
They're just
Absolutely.
like, we'll close the net, hit a volley winner.
Steel City, you gotta body
That's
up
right,
to
tough.
that net. You're not gonna back down from anybody's drives.
Absolutely. Tough as nails. Strong start to the game. Lob just long.
30-15.
Fraser Morgan get that point. It is 30-15.
Ooh.
30 all. Switch at the net. Filip Rams with the more offensive overheads going to the left side.
Yeah, Wagner pretty much, he can hit a roller, but pretty much just flat overheads. Oh, just great job. Morgan again, he just hammers away. Just
30-40.
set point here now. I mean, just a couple of missed errors. So many highlight reels, but few loose balls, couple missed lob volleys. Maybe playing a little too fast. Maybe have to dial it into a less error-free zone. We'll see.
Interested to see Adam Morgan slide into the ad side. He's been a big difference maker these last couple games, as he's been in the ad side.
Oh, I think he got the seam on that one. It's a great overhead. That just cut, shot right off.
He's not happy with that one.
No, he's a tough competitor, hard on himself. Set point number 2.
Fraser.
That's like the 7th drop shot winner, I believe, for Rams and Wagner. They're going to have to be super careful with those off-pace drives.
There's that highlight reel shot, points that they're getting, Wagner and Rams, that you're talking about, Brad. But there's a couple fundamental misses that are costing them the lead.
Oh!
Advantage
Communication there.
This is to hold and go 5-5. Tough volley.
Oh, yeah.
He digs out.
Yeah, straight. Oh! He got stuck between a tweener and trying to get around it, but great hold. They had a couple of set points there, and 5-all. I just got a text in from Brian Heil, who's reminding me of how underrated Mike Wagner is. One of the he considers him one of the top players in the country. It's just tricky because so many tournaments are regional, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. He is a very good player, and I've played him from, back when I was playing in the Tri-State Cup, actually. We had teams from Philly, and back in those days he was playing with AJ Wagner.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Corona.
AJ Corona, sorry.
Yeah.
It's Mike Wagner.
They were good.
Yeah, AJ's, he would one-time the ball, two hands off both sides. Unique style of play. Yeah, but anyway. He was reminiscing also about a match that he lost to you up 6-2, 2-love Brian Heil.
Thank you to the rain.
There you go.
Tough stuff.
30-15.
Great spot, but that's where you get into danger, Mark, when you hit that cross-court volley. You know, the old adage for pros is, generally speaking, volleys should go straight and deep, right? If you go cross-court with them and you're not able to shift in time, it opens these little seams up.
Correct. No, I think generally you should only volley cross court if you're attacking the ball.
Correct.
We see a lot of volleyers now where they're hitting that hard attacking volley cross court, but if you're not, if you can get it straight ahead, definitely way better.
Oh.
Game, Fraser Morgan.
And the first pump from Adam Morgan. They go 6-5 up.
Well, it's like we were talking about, Mark. It's that subtle drop in level and a couple of, like we said, fundamental misses, you know, that have been really a great thing, you know, for Fraser and Morgan. And they just keep going about their business. And Rams and Wagner are playing great, but it's just a couple of things here and there. They have a good strategy, a good style.
Yes, and that's mentally tough when you are playing as well as Wagner and Rams are, with, you know, the highlight reel shots, and they're playing a solid paddle, but you're still down. That's mentally tough. So this will be a big game to just hang in.
This is a big hold. You know, Wagner just puts that serve in, so it's a different service game for him. And I think I'd like to see an Australian there and a different type of poach on that serve, because if they let him go cross court with these returns all the time, he's not going to get that first drive. They're going to have to play from the backcourt the whole time.
I like that. I like that change-up, Brad.
There you go. It's a great job. He pushes that one deeper, though. I like the idea.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. You know, he's got what he wants now. He's got Filip Rams coming forward, so now he can really just play around with throwing at different depths and not always having to go short, especially if he's lost a couple of them. Tyler Fraser's just keeping them on their toes. He has that same setup for a bunch of different overheads. Unpredictable.
Oh,
wow. Beautiful. That is not easy to send that ball down the line. That was incredible movement by Filip Rams.
He's got just like this beautiful fluid wrist, though, too. Like he just, the paddle slides one side or the other on the ball. It's just a pretty stroke.
Oh,
This is the dangerous overhead that I don't understand. That's the one Rams has got to almost put it away. You know, he's hitting a cut over, but it's just flying off the screen. It's an easy look. I mean, he gets a miss, but that's not what you want. Oof.
30-15.
They're hanging in there.
Well, a couple of good looks for Fraser Morgan. They just missed him. That's right. The crease off. Just missed it. Yeah, the interesting thing, you know, Wagner's got these great strokes, both the forehand and the backhand, great speed, closes it on net. But, you know, he's missing the spin on the overhead and the kind of those finishing type shots at the net.
Correct. So as you said, one of, you know, can be a great player in the country, probably needs the right type of partner to find success.
30 all.
Oh, did that go over? God, look at Morgan. He's like, come on, man. Because that's great. You put a serve in like that, you get the let court ace. I love it.
The ace.
Because the greatest thing about that serve is really just designed to go in. Oh, what a shot by Fraser. So one time slaps the forehand. Wagner didn't even see that.
That was well disguised.
So many highlight reels again, but just
Fraser Morgan.
a few fundamental misses. And in this game here specifically, he had that cut over hit he went for, missed it. And now we're at set point number 3 for these guys. But all this is like sort of down the road. So, Filip Rams is such a talent. He's still an unfinished player. He's been playing maybe like 5 years now, I would guess. But he started out his career playing a bunch with Casey Watt, and he's got still so much upside.
Yeah. No, with his skills, he really can do some special things. And I know he's going to be doing some camps with Johan Durant at the SA Rackets camp. So just for them to get to spend time on court together is always a thing.
Oh, what a close
Solid
again by
quality.
Wagner. Yeah.
Pittsburgh style. Steel City, baby.
Beautiful cut. He played that perfectly because he cuts it into Morgan's body, forces Morgan to move away from it, but then the spin cuts back away from, to his right, and then Morgan has to go away and back in. Can't make the move in time. Just gorgeous shot. Back to deuce. It's their third set point. It's going to be an interesting mental state on this thing. In the beginning of the match, for sure, I would think, Ramsey Wagner had the better of it. But when it's all said and done, they're the ones with 4 set points now, Fraser and Morgan. And if they don't close this out, they're going to be like, I think both teams are going to be like, we let this one get away.
Absolutely. No, this is just hanging on the wire there.
Oh, and there's just another missed overhead.
Fraser Morgan, they win the first set, 7 games.
I mean, to me, Mark, that's just the whole set in a nutshell. The highlight reels, constant for, Rams and Wagner, and just Rams with too many unforced errors in unfortunate times. All right, so we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the second set right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
From this website, we really want to make learning easy. We know that paddle can be a lot. When you're out there, you're thinking of hitting the ball, you're thinking of the screens, you're thinking of your technique. There's a lot of things going on. So we want to break things up into bite-sized pieces that make it easy for you to digest, easy for you to learn, and then easy for you to implement in your game. That is our goal.
I'm Johan Durant, and this is my paddle.
Minute, guys. See ya. Have fun.
All right, so we're back here with more of our men's semifinal action between Adam Morgan and Tyler Fraser against the third-seeded team, who are first-seeded team against the third-seeded team of Filip Rams and Mike Wagner. And that was an entertaining set, Mark Ennis. Fourth. And Fraser and Morgan come up with it 7-5, but just a few too many loose errors and unfortunate cut overheads from Rams. We had the highlight reel back and forth, but then at the end, Fraser Morgan just the steadier play overall and the more dogged play throughout.
Absolutely. If you're Filip Rams and Mike Wagner, you're feeling like you missed out on that set. So Love to see how they come out over here.
All right, so there we got a couple of replays, and you know, I
There's
love
one to
Morgan's
show.
reaction there.
Play away, gentlemen.
Oh, we see
All
it
right,
again.
so play is starting again here as we see this replay one more time.
Give us another one. Run it
All
back.
right. So Tyler Fraser starting off our second set here with a good, tough victory in the first set, 7-5. There's a beauty. He got that one.
15 love.
Anything, Brad, that you would want to see change from Rams and Wagner, just besides tightening it up?
Yeah, just more discipline. It's specifically, I actually think they lost that set because of Ram's spin overhead, to be honest. I mean, he missed 4 or 5 of them, you know, and at some crucial moments. And, you know, the creativity is great. You just got to pick and choose your spot. Now, it could be that he's just working on it to see, you know, where it goes. But when he's moving back and to the right a little, he's hitting this hard spin overhead. It's either setting up the other team or creating a little bit of an error. I think prior to that, they had this great strategy and a perfect start to the match, actually. You know, and he just got away from him a little. And he got too enamored with the cut overheads.
15 all.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, they had so many. They had 7-8 drop shot winners, incredible blitzes, but they also had, he had 6 or 7 cut overhead winners, errors. It's called wide.
Let.
We're going to play let.
15 all.
All right, they run it back.
All right, replay it. Hey, good sportsmanship. There might
Love
have been
to
a little
see it.
discrepancy, and that's typical how it goes in an umpired match. You know, frequently, well, I mean, it's within Fraser's rights absolutely to say it's my call, and we just won that point, but instead I'll hit a cut winner, and it's still our point. So
I'll
there you
win it
go.
this
But
way.
it's within his rights to just stand by his call, or he can say if they question it, say, hey, listen, we'll play it over. So. So, Markin, as you sort of asked a question to me before, and I'm going to turn it back on you. I mean, if you're Rams and Wagner, would you do anything differently?
I think it ties into what you were saying. I would want to see them not switch as much at net, because I think it does get Rams feeling like he's got to win the point with his overheads. You know, when he's there, I think he must do his thing, but then let Wagner also do some overheads and just get them, beating them with some patience as well. Otherwise, I think it gets into that addictive feeling of you have to win with a great cut or a great slider to the deuce court. So I would actually like to see them stay when they're on their sides.
Yeah, but do you think they could still switch and just Rams just takes a different attitude about it? Like he doesn't have to do that? Because, I mean, there wasn't any time where it felt like he had to. It's not like any of these points. Have we seen one grinded out point yet? Of even
Correct.
50
So,
balls?
I mean,
it's not like they're grinding.
Absolutely. So that's sort of on him. If he feels like can, then kudos to him.
Oh, that's just so well done. What a dig from Wagner at this point. That's the one that he's losing control of. The one he's not putting quite enough action on it. It's got to spin hard to the side, but that's just coming up high. That's coming up high, right? He's got to let it drop. If you're going to hit it down, up, then you want to hit it to the side screen first. Otherwise, you let it drop, and it's got to spin heavy into the side, but stay lower. And that's the key. I'd just like to see him hit a few more push overheads. That's a little better because it's lower.
Oh, great movement there. Mike Wagner bringing Tyler Fraser forward.
30-40.
He had it, Fraser, off the side screen, but it was perfectly placed ball where he had that moment of hesitation, so he rushed up to get it and just couldn't come up with it.
Definitely great shot selection by Wagner. Oh, good move. He's been making that all in the first set, so you can't be too upset about that. It's sort of Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Oh, right on top of the net. He hit that thing almost 90 degrees. He was so close to the net. And Rams taking a couple low, but they're under the net, both those last two volleys. Tough, tough shots. It was a great drive, though. A little update on the score, 2-1 for Crick and Lofgren.
Over Lewis and Lofgren.
Over Lewis and Lofgren.
So Lofgren's in the lead.
There's always going to be a Lofgren in the lead.
Fraser Morgan, they lead 1 game to love. Second
Some
set.
of those mistakes we weren't seeing Wagner make in the first set. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if they can settle down here and you know, find a way to win games. They're playing well. They're just streaky.
Yeah,
Couple
way too
really
streaky.
great points. Couple errors.
Entertaining stuff, though, and you can see the talent on display.
Oh, it's so fun.
This is what you're talking about there. You know, they could have Wagner do a few of these and just push, but that's the Wagner
just
overhead. He's
let
just going to
them-
push it flat. He's going to give you a side back or a push middle, and what he'll do great is close in on the net. Like when you get ready to drive, he'll close back in. He's got a little roller. He might give that to you for sure. But
Tough.
still, great job, Morgan. He just fires it at you.
Oh, great moving.
That's the way to do that one. Let
Wow.
it drop. Let that ball drop. He lets the
15 all.
contact point get low. Cuts around it.
And you can see how Mike Wagner slides out of his way just to give him the perfect angle to attack the deuce. Fraser and Morgan have definitely been able to slow down Wagner and Rams at the baseline. That first set, it really felt like they were driving from anywhere.
And blitzing. And they definitely have. They've just been also, I think what's happened too is that precipitous drop and finding themselves down a set has got to, you know, make Wagner and, you know, Rams a little more cautious.
Yes, hurts your confidence a little bit.
Oh, one times that backhand beautifully. Fraser
the
eats
tip.
that one.
30-15.
That is a rip.
30 all.
Yeah, he just thumped that one. That serve sat up, though, and Fraser just thumped it. Yeah, stylistically, we should also mind that you got Rams using the underhand serve to the deuce, but then going overhand to the ad. That's also done by some other players. Ah, just another missed overhead.
30-40.
Yep. Rams won't be happy with that one. Those are the little loose errors you were talking about. Good eye.
Good eye. He's probably just worried for his life.
Survival.
Survival. Get out of the way. You know, it's interesting. We haven't seen a single Tyler Fraser blitz, have we?
We haven't, no. I don't think he's felt like he'd need to. And that's actually what I think is interesting about when a player with such good overheads is taking all of them. I think the baseline team almost goes into complete defense mode, and they really don't take any risks, which is not what you want. You want the baseline team taking sort of bad risks, you know?
Right.
So unless you're a player that can truly make the net like a Juan Araya, Johan Durant, it's also not a great thing to have your baseline team not taking any risks. You win some points, but as we've seen, you lose a lot as well.
Oh, there's no question that, you know, Morgan and Fraser are on top here just because they've just been that much more solid and willing to just play solid. It's not that they're not taking a drive, but they're, you know, Morgan's just ripping it when he's got it, and they're waiting for these guys to give them the opportunity or the miss, right?
And that's where I think if a Wagner was just taking a couple overheads, maybe they take some bad risks, you know. Right now they seem pretty content just hanging out.
Yeah, it's always that fine line, isn't it? That's the one he's got to let drop. It's too high. His contact point's way too high for that one into the back screen. Because it just comes up high and it's not staying low. It's got to stay lower. You know, this would just be also, you know, you got to feel out in order to get a lot better at the spin overheads. You got to hit a bunch of them.
Yep. No, and Filip Rams is hitting some incredible overheads, and you can see he's got Adam Morgan and Tyler Fraser on the back foot the whole time. But if I'm a baseline player and I feel like I can actually still get everything back, it's a place to be.
Right, and because there's so many overheads hit, like you said, by, you know, Rams, that, you know, Wagner, we haven't seen him hit a ball in 30 balls.
Yep.
Yeah, there he goes. And, well, it's so perfect. Beautifully recognized by Fraser. Just perfect job.
Tyler Fraser sneaking in.
Yeah, but he recognizes that, almost what we're saying, that Wagner hasn't hit one in a long time. And Rams, he's looking back at Wagner when he should have his eyes forward, but Wagner rarely takes him. He's probably like, oh, I'll spectate for one, you know, because you got to call out the blitz there, and it's just a perfect recognition and speed by Fraser. 2-love lead. The tide has certainly turned out here.
That was impressive recognition by Tyler Fraser, just waiting for the right shot, and when he got it, he pounced.
Did indeed. And Wagner had no idea he was coming. You need the warning from your partner there.
Adam Morgan taking a practice serve. 2-love up in the second set. They won this first set 7-5. Seem like they have all the momentum right now.
Yeah, they definitely do.
See, those are risks we don't see Tyler Fraser taking on Filip Rams' overhead, just because you can't. You sort of know it's a non-factor, right? But with the Mike Wagner overhead, you think, okay, I can take these cuts, and that's what you want.
Oh, another great move. But you could hear him on the live stream there, Wagner going, watch, watch, watch. You know, it's just another word for he's coming in. And as a consequence, he hits that overhead just low enough, although Fraser had a good look at it, but good call from Wagner.
So important for players at home you're always keeping your eyes forward when those lobs are going up. You're not looking back and watching your partner.
A little better. He's getting that contact a little lower, and that's good. Oh!
Man, he slides that ball nicely.
He flummoxed him on that one. He just, Fraser got stuck, and then he had nowhere to go with his feet. Just a beautiful ball.
Filip Rams and Sven Burris have a similar one to the deuce court. It just bounces a little bit different. I'm not sure what they do exactly, but it's not like that general cutter to the deuce court. Like you can't really read it. It's a great shot.
Oh. And that's what they were doing in the first set in the beginning there so well. Wagner driving, Rams blitzing.
Hey, I'll be here.
Oh. That one there, lower than the net, ball's a little deep.
Yeah, I think Wagner was just trying to get some fire going back again. You know, it seems like things have slowed down a little bit on their end, so it seems like they're just trying to find a little fire over here, Brad.
Yeah. 40 love shot, too.
Yeah.
Take a little more risk.
This will be a big game to get, though.
Yeah, they just got to get a game, get their feet back in this thing.
Waterfall to the ad court. Adam Morgan digs it out.
And one of the things that we've stopped seeing too is we had 5 or 6 or 7 drop shot winners from Rams
Wagner.
and Wagner. That just means
Fraser
the lobs
Morgan
are getting
lead 2
better.
games to 1 second
They're
set.
better with the defense, their control of the court from the back court. You know, for Fraser and Morgan. So kudos to them.
Rams Wagner get that game. They're staying in this set. It's 2-1 to Fraser and Morgan. Fraser and Morgan won the first set 7-5.
I like this Wagner and the Rams taking a moment here.
Fraser Morgan and Rams.
Oh.
Love 15.
I like that play. Just body him up, hit it hard at him. It's a weak serve. Go at him every now and then. Just, you know, you can't come up with all the volleys. That was a good job. Morgan did a great job reading Wagner's position. As Wagner was moving to the side, Morgan just found him right in the body with a hard roller. All right, Rams is going to have to do a little regrouping here. I like this. Go back, take a minute. There's 2 volleys in this game. First one was a little tough. That one, he's
makeable for him.
Yep. I mean, look, anything's makeable for him.
Absolutely.
Just came off a, you know, good patch, winning their first game in the second set. You want to keep some momentum going. Drain.
There's that drop
He's
shot.
going around the net post. He had the around the net post, but it's just a great drop from Wagner.
40.
Need just another inch or 2 of height to get his paddle underneath it. Morgan did.
And that almost had another one.
I would have loved to have seen that. Oh, goodness gracious.
Game, Fraser Morgan, they lead 3 games to 1 second set.
2 missed volleys and a missed overhead. Tough to win games.
That it is, just a couple fundamentals.
He's got to have a short memory here and just get back to having a good, real positive thought process. So he's bleeding some arrows right now. Take a
Play
minute.
by Adam Morgan just to bail there and see if it's going to be in or out. Take it off the back screen if it's in.
No percentage in that going toe-to-toe with a guy coming in with a short, easy forehand.
Especially when his name is Filip Rams. clear that hole. Great defense.
Yep. Spot and out.
Just out.
Just missing right now. They're on a real low. They got to be careful here. They got to sort of dial it back in.
And what do you think it is, Brad? What do you think's sort of causing this lull, if, you know, besides just general having a bad day?
I think they started out having a great day, though, Mark.
Yeah,
I
they were
think
playing
just
fantastic.
they lost their way and they didn't recognize when it was happening, right? And now I think they've just sort of lost their way, you know, like, and they can't, and there's no real captain on the team, it seems to me. You know, I'm sure they practice together all the time back there, you know, but to somebody to say, okay, listen, you know, miss 12 overheads and, you know, 6 or 7 of certain shots. Let's make a little change here. Let's dial it back. Let's even grind 2 points out. 2 points. Just grind 2. Let them win 2 points.
30-15.
Right? And then, you know, we'll see what happens from there. You know, get their feet under them. But look, it's 30-15 now. It can all happen still within a hard, you know, minute of breath. But what a read from Fraser.
40-15.
And just a perfect read. But the ball's under the net for Wagner. So even though he can take a good strike at it, the places he can hit it are diminished. And Fraser does a great job just sticking his paddle out.
He really keeps his paddle out in front of him so nicely.
Oh, he read it beautifully.
Oh, good disguise.
Great disguise from Rams.
Oh! Ninja.
Game. Fraser Morgan, they lead 4 games, 1 second set.
So, Mark, you do a tournament like these, and it all takes a village, as they say, and some great sponsors as well.
Diagnostic tool designed by orthopedic surgeons that you can use to identify your injury. You can then learn how to treat your injury or even prevent another one with our free therapy programs, or even speak with a medical professional. And this is all free as a member of the APTA. So if you have any soreness after playing or a more serious injury, go to Upswing first. Upswinghealth.com if you're a member of the APTA.
Sounds like a terrific service upswing. So we're back here. Fraser and Morgan taking command of this match. They're up 4-1 in the second. So Mark, you know, request from somebody to break down a few of these. What do you think Rams is missing these overheads? Do you think it's just a mental thing, or do you think it's some of it's technical?
I think a lot of it's mental. I think when you feel like you have to be the guy on the team and almost end the point with overheads, I think it's just too much pressure. And I don't think Wagner's lacking anything that makes Rams feel that way. But I can think for myself, you know, sometimes when I play with a guy like Mick Doya, I sort of pump him up too much to go for too much, and you end up playing out of your game style. And you know, when I watch Filip Rams play with a Scott Kaler, I think just holes that they play on the teams that he doesn't do as much. He still hits the same overheads, but you know, here it seems pretty predictable where Filip Rams slides over and now he goes to town trying to sort of these through 4 attacking overheads. And Fraser and Morgan are just great defenders, so it's a lot of pressure to have to end the point, and somewhere you're going to get an error.
I think in balance, a lot of that, of course, is true. I think also some of it's just choices, too. Like, if he's backing up, just don't hit that down cutter, right? Save the cutter for when you're forward and moving in. And when you can let the ball drop in his contact zone a little bit. He's hitting it from too high a position. And he's ending up, you know, basically he's hit every single overhead miss has been where, Mark?
In the net?
Yeah, in the net. Well, no, he's not pushing them along or anything, right?
Yes.
They're all in the net. He's just hitting them down. He's trying from a high position, hitting him down from too far off the net. You know, you just have to choose some different shots in those situations. Another great blitz. They're really seeing the court much better now. Rams Wagner a little lost their early glow when they were playing such beautiful, brilliant even paddle.
They really did come out hot.
Fraser and Morgan have weathered the storm. There's a reason why there are #1 seeds in this tournament.
And that's when teams really start to become great. When even when they don't seem to be the team with the momentum, they still seem to be either in the game or actually up in the score. That's when a team really becomes scary.
And it's sort of like when it rains, it pours a little bit right now. Ooh. But even that, when he's backing up and hitting it down, he clips the top of the net. Got away with it there, but it's just a dangerous overhead to hit. Man, Morgan just digging stuff out.
Great position.
See, I don't understand taking a drive from behind the baseline when the guy's planted on the net. Now it's just like they're fishing. You know, they got to get back to a strategy. In the initial stages, they were lobbing these beautiful balls over Morgan's head time and time again, placed lobs, right? And they had the strategy of keeping it up and over him. Then they would look for a strike and a blitz, and they were moving Fraser to that. Now it's like it's a bit more of a free-for-all.
Great volley in transition.
Oh. Fraser and Morgan just. I mean, he just reads that like a book, and Fraser fell right into it. He knows it too. He's like, how did he not see that? Just a great play from Rams. He had already determined that Rams was backing off the net, and that's big. They get this hold here. That was a, you know, for 5-1. You know, if they get a hold here and get it to 4-2, what a difference, right?
Absolutely. 4-2 is not so scary.
Like groaning over there from Morgan and Fraser. I love it. They're putting the effort in. Not a peep out of Rams and Wagner.
Fraser and Morgan have played a pretty flawless set over here. Very few, you know, unforced errors.
No, you'd say none. Yeah, well, yeah, very, very few.
Switch in the backboard. We saw this a lot in the first set.
Oh, what a great lob that was from Morgan.
Advantage Fraser Morgan.
Perfectly set up, and I think if you're going to do what Rams was doing there, you got to be right on top of the net. Otherwise, you just let it go through.
Yep. These players have been battling out there for 1.5 hours now, Brad.
Oh, that is so
got it!
good. Where did he get that? That must have come off the snowboard.
Machine.
I think it came off the middle of the snowboard where the slats are. If it hits the top of the bottom board, it shoots up. But I didn't see how he got it. It looked like it was dead.
I just want to see an Adam Morgan fist pump if they win this point.
See, that's the over that just got to go away. The one where he's backing up and hitting the ball down into the Adam Morgan forehand. He's given himself no time to get back into
Fraser
the net.
Morgan, they lead 5-1, second set.
And
Absolutely.
He's not getting any attacking value out of it. There's no attack. He's only giving opportunities to the other team.
Creating a lot of gaps in the court. 5-1. They had the chance for 4-2, but slipped out of their hands. And Fraser and Morgan with the opportunity to close it and head to tomorrow's final.
Tomorrow's final, 9 a.m. Great touch on that ball. Morgan gets behind it, can't get his paddle set low and flat enough to come up with that
15.
one.
Over here. Yeah.
Oh, returning the favor is Fraser.
15 all.
It's a drop shot back. One of the 6 or 7 that Rams hit in the first set.
Great disciplined coach there by Tyler Fraser.
Yeah, and they
Makes the move, wasn't in his wheelhouse, just lets him go through for his partner.
and they know exactly what's coming, right? The teams know how these plays are working. All right, if this match finishes up in quick fashion, which it may, we're going to try to bring over the other semi where Lewis and Lofgren, Will Lofgren that is, have taken the first set 6-4 against Crick and Randy Lofgren. So kudos to them. And I gotta think Crick and Lofgren are tired after that, basically almost a 3-hour battle with Heath and Baxter in their quarterfinal.
Yep, they had a big battle right before this. Not much downtime.
Oh, just
30
killer
all.
poaches now by Fraser. Starting to feel confident.
Over here? Yeah.
And just so we're clear, we didn't really bring it up before, you know, when you're playing the Lofgren brothers, there are brothers. You know, Will and Randy are brothers. So
40,
it's brother,
30.
it's mano a mano, brother bragging rights in that match. They don't just happen to have the same name.
I heard whoever loses that match is getting taken off the Christmas card this year, so that's why they're going at it.
Wow, that's rough. It's a tough family, the Lofgrens.
That's right.
Here we go.
Breed winners.
And there it
There
is.
it is.
Fraser Morgan.
Game,
They win the
set,
second set 6-1.
and match.
Win the match 7-5, 6-1. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.